Rise, everybody. Rise, rise. Give me a moment to get started. I want you guys to start tagging people. I want you guys to share the video, please. Go ahead and turn your screen recorder on. We are talking about agents today. Today is Matrix 4, the agents, okay? If you are going to wake up, Neo, you must be aware of the agents, okay? Rise, 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 everybody. Peace, 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 everyone. Guys, again, go ahead and begin to share the content. Go ahead and like as you come into the room. And here we go. You guys can hear me, right? Hey guys, do you know if you can smoke on YouTube? Do you know about that? Rise, everyone. Let me know if the music is too loud. We're talking about agents today, family. Peace, 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 peace. Listen, family, I want to thank all of you guys for being so loving and contributing in all of these lives, okay? And so what we're going to do to start this one off is, okay, cool. Well, what I'll do is I won't put it directly on the camera anyway. But then I left my lighter inside, and it went out. Family. So let me give some shout outs to you guys. And I want you guys to know that what we're going to do is we're going to start this off with about 10 minutes of Q&A. So super chats will be first priority, but I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible, okay? So ask me questions about your life, things you're struggling with, questions that you don't have the answer to, things that's been troubling you. And we're going to get started that way, family. If your questions take me somewhere else, let's just go. All right? There's no such thing as coincidences. So I definitely will cover agents today. First time catching a live. Welcome in, Marcus. Welcome in, Mr. Johnson. Just put your hand in front of the camera. I got you. Makes sense. Cool, cool, cool. I'm not sure who Tina is, Eric. Peace, Eric. Peace, peace, Janae. Peace, General. Peace, beautiful minds. How to truly move on and release past trauma that feels like dead weight. That is beautiful. Shantae. Thank you so much, love. So guys, how to release trauma. Let go. There's so much power in letting go, okay? Tell you a quick story, okay? There's this guy, he's trying to hunt a monkey, okay? And the way they hunt monkeys, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they'll take a box and bore a hole in the box, only large enough for the monkey to get his hand through when it's open. They'll put food inside of the box, okay? Berries, whatever. And what'll happen is the monkey will come and stick its hand inside of the box, grab and have a fistful of berries or whatever food is inside, And when he tries to pull his hand out, now he has a fist. And he can't pull the fist out of the hole. And he'll just try and try and try, and it has him trapped. But all he has to do is just let go, and his hand will come free. But what the hunters do is they don't even have to rush. They know the monkey's not going to give up on what's inside that box. So that very diligent monkey is going to persist. And what happens is the hunter makes his way to the monkey, and he just leashes him. I mean, just goes on ahead and leashes him up, chains him up, and then locks him up. All he had to do was let go of what was in the box, family. And you're free. Sometimes the thing that's binding us, you are holding on to it. Just know this. The trauma that the other person exposed you to, it is your trauma. Trauma is something that you are holding on to. So that's what trauma is. So a lot of people go through the same situations or similar situations, and they don't carry trauma from it. You understand, where you may. And so when you say, why do I have trauma? You must know that's because you're not letting go of something, and what you focus on expands. So if you're in any situation that even looks like your last situation, okay, and you have trauma, the first thing you're going to do is remind yourself of that trauma. So we are our own worst enemy when it comes to that. What we do is we recreate the past as if it happened now and live in that now, which is the past. So we are time travelers. When you are in your trauma, know that you have time traveled to the past, and you need to come back to the future, because the things that has happened, they're just that. They have happened. Now, because of you, it's happening, because you have brought it back to the now. So anything that you bring inside of your mind's eye is happening now. This is why whenever you remember a moment, you can feel the pain and the trauma from that moment. You know, you bring up old issues, you actually begin to get angry again. Do you understand? So let go. It's power in letting go, family. Don't focus on it. Ignore it. It is the cycle wanting to continue. Don't give it the opportunity, love. Cold-hearted says, imagine he gets off his live, takes off his robe and hat just to laugh at us. Now, that's a powerful imagination, Cold-hearted. You should write books. I know in your mind you probably feel like, hey, I'm being sarcastic, but no, that's a very creative mind. So you have a superpower there. It's all in your head though, but hey, you could make it as real as possible. I'll tell you this, if that were the case, what difference would it make? If you can use the information that's given to you, you will go far with it regardless. See, sometimes we think applying intent to the messenger has anything to do with the message. If a person is given a message, it doesn't matter if they're trying to give that message to hurt you or heal you. If you can find you in that message, you can grow from that message. Some people will never tell you the truth unless it's to hurt you. See, agents are there for your good. See, we're talking about agents today. Everyone around you who's positive may not be the step to your future self. Sometimes those positive people around you, family, they agree with your old self. They allow you to stay in your old habits. And so they're like the people on the Truman Show, appearing to be friends, and you never expect them to be holding you back when in fact they are. You must consider the times that you had an enemy, and that enemy motivated you to be better. That enemy challenged you. That enemy didn't give you all rays of sunshine. That enemy told you what they thought of you, even if it was wrong, even if they were trying to hurt you, but it got you to thinking. Sometimes your enemy is the next step to your future self, family. Be who you are, family. Free Will says that was the agent. We can all be agents at any moment. This is why we must stay focused, family. There are going to be plenty of agents reveal themselves today and throughout these lives. Chosen J Money says, how do I get out of my lower chakra right now? Stop releasing. So your lower chakra, of course, represents your survival or your desire. How do you get out of your lower chakra? Begin to think with purpose, Chosen Journey. You are happening. So regardless of your current situation, you do not have to live in that situation, family. You can go inside of here and see yourself in a better situation and begin to create that and focus on your creation. When you begin to desire or go into what you call your survival mode, when you begin to go back into those bad habits and pursue those things that, I mean, by habit, of course, you begin to fulfill yourself because what you feed gets stronger. If you've been living in your lower chakra, it's going to be very hard to, or it's going to, nothing's hard. Everything is you. So let's just say that. It's going to be quite a transition because you have to change your habits too. Meditate every single rise, chosen journey. When you wake up, you be responsible for taking your energy to a different place. So when you wake up and you're thinking about fulfilling your flesh, your loins, think about this. The red represents the devil, the double, the flesh version of you. So your higher self is God or good. Your lower self is devil or evil, right? Add a D, you get evil, you get devil. Add a O, you get good. So your lower self is your double, your flesh version of yourself. That version of itself, of yourself, has physical needs. Now, you are welcome to live in your physical needs. You could have came here this time around just to explore the planet and enjoy yourself. And that would be fine. Nobody's wrong for what they're doing. However, if you feel the challenge to come out of your lower self, then you do that. And every single day you wake up and regulate your energy first, knowing that that is the beginning of your day. Before you go to sleep at night, begin to meditate on what it is you want to do, okay? Like meditation is when you're sleeping, okay? So a lot of us just lay down and hit and dream. We just go to sleep and then whatever happens, happens. Try to be more intentional. Before you lay your head down at night, say, this is what I would like to meditate on. Tell yourself what you want to think about. Set your destination, so to speak, okay? This is kind of like your way to set the coordinates of where you want to travel to, okay? Or where you want to learn from. So you might say, I want to learn what's holding me back in this realm. And so that night when you go to sleep, whatever dream you have, just try and recall that dream, see yourself in it, and see what it's saying to you. Be more intentional in your mind's eye. I know we think that what's going on in this world is everything that's real, so we focus on what the politicians say, what they're saying about the virus, what TV and media says, and so we don't focus so much on our mind, and we don't understand that our dreams are very powerful, but we rather focus on movies and see what they mean. But what are you telling you? You understand? So again, make it a habit to meditate yourself out of that state. Think with purpose instead of your loins, okay? Let's see here. Mary says, letting go must present a reason why. Disappointments are the challenge to come to know logic and the truth of one's own self-ability to vision change. Absolutely, Mary. Let's see, Ash Highland says, at what age do you teach your children about the God within them? They teach you. See, your children are born knowing who they are, and we slowly convince them who they are not. So we are who tell them that they are not God. We tell them they're human. We tell them to believe in the things that we want to teach them, and we give them different gods to believe in. See, your child, they get lost in their imagination all the time. They have no doubt in their mind who they are. They pretend. You call it pretending, but they are actively living in their minds. And as they grow, we keep telling them, no, you can't do that. You can't have this. You can't, that's not real. You can't pretend. You can't imagine. And so we take them out of their godlike state, when what we should be doing is teaching them to harness it. From your creation, that's what's going to develop your resource. That's what's going to help you survive in this world. But we're going to tell our children, keep all those things to yourself. Those are just what you do in your free time behind closed doors. The way we survive in this world is we go get jobs and work for people. Well, you're never supposed to have to get a job. A job should be your last resort, and it should be with a plan to save up and get out of there as soon as possible. If we truly knew what we were capable of, we would raise our children to know you have a gift, and you have to cultivate that gift to make it to where it can bring you in resources by the time you are an adult. Now, some children are able to do this by the time, they're babies, and their parents know how to monetize their gifts to make sure it brings in money. You know what I mean? So, and that way you can live freely and do what you enjoy doing and make and do your purpose. Your purpose should be your what we call your job. So So start teaching your children that they are powerful since birth. They have it, y'all. They come to teach us. Why do y'all think they put so much focus on abortion centers? Why do y'all think they put so much focus on condoms and Plan Bs? Why do you think that? Go back in the day, thousands of years ago, family. You see how much humans live in their desire? Sex isn't something that we can avoid. It overpowers us. There's this nature, this need that we have to do this. And if you don't have condoms and stuff, we'd be having a bunch of babies, right? When we read in the Bible about the end times, about angels coming from heaven, well, heaven is the yoni. Heaven is the penis. This is why you see cultures erect penises and as statues. And we say, well, you know what? They were very perverted. No, they understood that life came through that member. You understand? That member that is normally soft and dead looking, a goddess or god, a woman, can resurrect it and get a seed out of that place, out of that holy place. The penis is not a place that is defiled. We look down on these things because of our Western culture. So that penis and that yoni making the ankh brings in the true souls. The souls come here to teach the beings that's already here how to evolve. But the world is backwards. We think our children come here to learn from us. Our children come here to learn, come here to teach us. They are not our children. They are angels. They are only wrapped in the meat suits that we provide for them via our DNA. But they come here to make a difference in the world. And so what the government does, because they know if we have a whole lot of these star seeds come to this world that make changes, the world would be changed. They create so many ways to keep us from having children, telling you that the world will be overpopulated if you have children, trying to make resources more difficult so you will just regulate your childbearing, so you won't have a lot of children because you will need money to take care of them. However, if you go back in the day, back in time, we didn't need money to provide for our families. We hunted. So each member of your family was extra hands to hunt. Each member of your family was extra hands to plant and grow. So a child meant that you would have more food, not less. See, children were blessings back then, you understand? But today, they are cursings. They are dams. You understand? So when you have a child, you start thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to take care of it? That wasn't your thinking back then. You wanted to have a child so you could have an employee or a business partner to help you cultivate the land that you had your territory, not property. See, for us, property is a squared off acreage of land with no food resources on it, no water resource. You can't fish off of it. You can't get drinking water off of it. You can't grow crops on it. It's just a place that you're going to put your home. Back then, we were looking for territories, places where you could fish off the land, hunt off the land. You don't need nobody but your family, and your family is its own resource because you cultivate the skills in your children early in life. And they will be helping you in the gardens and helping you. Your sons will be going to work with you or going hunting with you, not to the job, but they would be going hunting with you. So we raise our children in this day and age to stay home and be taught how to go to school and be taught how to sit around and regurgitate all day and not focus inward on who they truly are and create from that. We're teaching them to learn the matrix and project it. So our whole life, that's what we teach our children to do. Look at how Neo was born, family. Pay attention to how Neo was born. Right? Bald-headed, hairless. And notice that whenever he's born, they start removing things from him. This is symbolic of the umbilical cord, the disconnection from mama, from the yoni. Okay? And you see all these tubes start popping out of him, right? And so we're born babies, of course. Neo is a baby in the mind. He is so new to this world. As soon as he is born, Morpheus and all those, and Trinity and all those are on the other side to teach him about this new world and fill his head with what they call knowledge of that world, correct? Just like babies. So imagine having the power of God. You are God. See, God within is when you are a being, when you are a vessel. But when you don't have God within and you don't have a vessel, you are completely God, having all power, having access to all emotion, right? All feelings. So imagine going from being God, being born through a yoni, and now being in this prison that is a baby and not being able to access all of your God energy. You would cry, you would wail, and you would be weak. Look how weak Neo was. Remember they told him your muscles have been atrophied, you haven't been using them? You're weak. Look how soft babies are when they first come. They're weak, right? But they come here to teach us something. So we say angels are perfect. Angels are innocent. And that's what children are. They come here to look at your world with fresh eyes and tell you what we're doing wrong. But then we'll tell the child that, hey, let me give you the reason why we do this, and you just conform to what we do because you don't know nothing. You just got here. And the child is saying, I'm telling you it's wrong. I know because I can feel it. I hear your explanations. They're very good. I hear your spells. They're very good. But I'm telling you, I, God, know everything, and I know it through feeling. And I feel like this is wrong, and that makes it wrong. Trust me. But we'll tell those babies, nah, you just don't know enough, and we'll train them into being human. Right? So again, guys, immediately, never take it from them. It's not that you teach them about God within. Never take that from them. Let them teach you. Humble yourself. Wisdom comes from the mouth of babes, of gods. See, they tricked us. Our religions told us to say they were born sinners. They were born gods. We teach them to be sinners. We teach them to judge themselves with this thing we call sin. You understand? Notice that sin comes after you're told something is wrong. It's a way to guilt trip yourself. But what is truly sin? What truly holds you back from your future self or your higher self, which is God? Things that block you from your higher self, correct? Mary says, I'm new to your site. Thank you for getting to know self and staying focused. I look forward to continuous growth on my brother's service. From my brother's service. Thank you for seeing and moving in your purpose. I am honored, Queen. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. You as well. Blessings, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Peace, Yan J. Reed. As I needed that. Yan J. Reed says she's speaking to at love. We're going to change the world, absolutely. This world always seems to tell you the opposite. Again, it's a giant mirror. It's yin and yang. It's polarity. It's the rebus. So it's a big trick, and it's that way by design. You did not come here to know you were God. You came here to experience yourself. And to truly be able to do that, you cannot know that you're, it's like dreaming and knowing you're dreaming. I mean, why would it be fun? You never get excited. You never feel fear. That person chasing you would never make you feel nervous, or you wouldn't run, and it wouldn't make you question. You wouldn't be entertained. And that's what this world is. It's just entertainment. We're all looking on the world, entertaining ourselves with what goes through our minds. So we're looking at the world, but what we're thinking are different things. So therefore, we all have a different version of reality. So there are multiple worlds. And that's the one thing you need to know about yourself, is because there are multiple worlds, there are multiple yous. Did you know that for every person that you have ever met in your life, that is how many versions of you there are? No one truly knows you, family, not even you. So everyone that you know only has an idea of you. And that idea is why they hate, like, love, or dislike you, or, are envious of you. You understand? So when someone looks at you, they factor in all of these details that they themselves created, what they think you're like, who they think you like to be around, how you feel about yourself. Though they think they're all of that. They'll even assert that for you. They'll create everything about you and use that to determine whether they like you or not. Like the guy says, what if he gets off of here, takes off his robe, and laughs? See, he has a version of me too. See, every version of Kevin is not who I want them to be. I would like for people to see me how I see me. But they're going to see me how they see me. So who am I to argue with them? Who am I to argue with those agents who are recreating their world and starring me in it to be whatever character they want to place on me, family? I am not the main character in everyone else's story. I'm only the main character in my own. You are only the main character in your own. In everyone else's story, you are some antagonist. And they are applying your motives to you. They are applying your intent to you. They have created you to be a villain or a hero. And we are constantly in battle with that. With every person we walk into, they are always thinking that they know us. So you have to love you more than anybody. And you have to know you more than anybody, knowing that no one truly knows you, not even you. Again, imagine a big ball of yarn rolling backwards, or just rolling, and you can see a string being left. The yarn only knows itself through the string or where it's been, It doesn't know where it's going, so it has yet to experience itself in the places it has yet not been. And the way you learn yourself is through moments, family. If you take away your moments, it's who am I? If you take away the fact that you were named Kevin Wesley, the fact that you were named Dean J, Janae Smith, the fact that you were named Carmela, if you take away the fact that your mother is who they are, that you got whoopings as a child, that you didn't get whoopings, that your mother was there, your mother wasn't there, your parents died, your parents are living. If you take away all the trauma that's ever happened in your life, who are you? If you take away that you're the firstborn or the lastborn, who are you? If you take away that you're a male or female, who are you? The most difficult thing about dying is becoming the wind again. How do you become the wind after being somebody's mother, after being somebody's child and brother and sister? How do you let go of everything and just be God again? How? Because I will remind you that all that's ego. At one point, you did not have a child, so you were not a mother. And now that is all you hang on to, that you're a mother. That's all you hang on to, that you're a father. And those things are amazing. But that's where you draw your whole being from now. And you are so much more than that. Trust me. Let me move the card. I got so much reflection, I can barely see myself. Y'all so beautiful, man. Oh, thank you, Queen Jamie. Takes one to know one. Sucks we can't be rich, gotta work. Who told you that, CC? They are deceiving you. What is your idea of rich? Having a bunch of money, a bunch of numbers in an account? What's your idea of work? If you do the thing you love to do, you are rich and you don't work. See, as a child, man, we should have been told this. Figure out in life who you are and what you want. And if you figure out who you are, you will know what you want. Who you are must never waver. They taught you to love the idea of having a bunch of printed money. If money is fake, what is truly being rich, family? Free your mind from the matrix. Truly being rich is having all of your time to yourself, to love and pour into your family and yourself, to become the best version of yourself, and pass that on to all of your genealogy all throughout the history, all throughout the now. You should be so safe that you can see generations into the future and not have to worry about surviving through the day. That's rich. It's not traveling hopping on all these airplanes and throwing money and drinking Dom Perignon and being on yachts. Family, at one point we didn't have all those things. Those things are amazing to be able to travel our world and be able to know more and experience more. But when you make that the end all be all to being rich and successful, you have missed the mark. Every animal and species is screaming at us right now, trying to remind us of who we are. And we think we're so much better than them. They haven't missed the mark. They have never wavered from who they are. And this is why their genetics are still getting stronger and ours are getting weaker. We create computers outside of ourselves and we think that makes us smarter. We ooh and ah at the fact that we don't have to think anymore, that we can just Google stuff. We ooh and ah at the fact that we can just type things into a calculator. and not have to count anymore. So we are not becoming stronger as beings. We are becoming weaker. Do you understand? Creating a navigational system instead of learning to navigate using wind or the sun or a map does not make you a stronger being. It makes you a more dependent being. The lizard can change its color. The octopus can regrow its limbs. What do we have biologically that really makes us superior? Other than this belief that we are superior via our technology. Okay, we can create an airplane, beautiful. Well, a bird can fly, it doesn't need one. What if we truly haven't unlocked everything that man can do? What if man, in an evolved state, has the ability to heal someone through biological communication, not some mystical thing outside of this world, family? What if the things that we were able to do back in the day came from us being more intentional with how we brought life sources into this world? What if we weren't having children just based on our desire? What if we were actually creating with the intent of snatching higher beings from the zodiacs, or bringing higher beings from here, from your third place, from your third eye? And so being with someone or sleeping with someone who is of high vibrational, and both of y'all are, what if that heightens the opportunities of bringing a high vibrational being to this planet? I keep telling you guys, we are always dancing, we are always singing, and so is everything in the whole world. Every atom is moving constantly. We got to think deeper than this, man. It's not about having a whole bunch of money in the bank. You see, the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And we always think about cars, clothes, and, I mean, not clothes, of course, but cars and houses and money. And for a lot of us men, that makes us depressed because we're trying to survive on our own. And in the back of our mind, we're thinking, well, how am I going to leave an inheritance for my children's children? And I can't even retire. Like, yo, I'm nowhere near what they say a good man is supposed to be. So then what am I? And so now you're going through life depressed because you thought inheritance was some paper. They don't give you enough of it for that to be an inheritance, family. Look at all these places around that you would go and work. They don't give you enough of that for it to be an inheritance. An inheritance, family, is a resource that continues to produce. Start a business, family. It doesn't have to yield hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year. Start a business, family. Teach your children how to run that business, family. When you pass on, your children have a business. They never have to go work for somebody. They just need to keep going what you created. Find properties, family. Learn how to hunt. I tell men all the time, when you have a baby in this world, don't tell yourself you're not a man because you don't have a job. You provide by any means necessary. Do you understand? You learn to hunt. You learn to fish if you don't have money. And you take your child fishing with you when they're old enough. You take your child hunting with you when they're old enough. You show them how to survive. That is not rich, family, having a whole bunch of money in the bank. Look, think about it. You see these people leave this money to their children, and that's great that they accomplish so much wealth or amassed so much wealth. You can leave it to your children. But what generally happens, family? The child not having the understanding of the parent, who didn't understand what it was like to get it out the mud, normally squanders away what the parent worked to save. So the man who walks to work, who works hard to make sure that his children don't have to walk to work, they would drive a nice car, a decent car. Well, his children would drive an even nicer car because they knew what it was like to drive in a meager car, live meagerly. But once you start saying, okay, I'm trying to change my life so my kids don't have to go through what I went through, that kind of becomes a problem. Because your children didn't go through what you went through, they will never develop the skills that you developed. Now, I want you to understand something. Your life may have been hard, so you learn how to save and you learn how to discipline yourself because you didn't have consistent flow, consistent money. Where their life was probably easy, you give them an allowance, whether they clean or not, whether they clean up or not, whether they do chores or not. Well, you had to cut grass to earn money. Your parents couldn't even afford to give you allowance. So you developed a work ethic and they didn't. So you can see how ultimately that will reduce the value of your child. Honestly, they won't be able to magnetize to them as much as you did. You understand? So consider the lion, family. Even though they're the kings of the jungle, so to speak, their children never get removed from the struggle. Their children are always practicing hunting, no matter what it is. They are master hunters because they start on bugs and insects and work their way up to slightly larger animals until they can catch the gazelle, until they can catch the zebra. But the parent doesn't say, you know, I don't want you to have to hunt like I did every single day and worry about where you're gonna get your food. I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to live your life free from all of that so you can just, you know, have a better life than me, a better life. But he who gives a man a fish weakens the man, right? But a man who teaches a man to fish strengthens the man. Give a man a fish, he only eats for a day. Teach him to fish, he eats for a lifetime. So if we're giving our children fish every single day, do they learn to fish? Is that teaching them to fish, giving them fish? So are we working hard to weaken our future selves or strengthen them? Do we take our children fishing or do we give them fish? You ever seen a puppy, a stray dog, or a stray cat beg for food in an alley? Now you would say to yourself, you're an animal. Why not just run off to the woods and survive on rats and vermin? Survive on the things that you can hunt and live your life free from humans, because we're only going to enslave you and domesticate you anyway. We're only going to, you know, separate you from your families anyway. So hey, you a stray dog or cat, why are you walking up to people in the alleyway in the cities begging for food? Why not run off into nature and find a way to survive out there? Well, humans are supposed to be way smarter than animals, right? How many times do you see a man begging for food when they could go off and live off the grid, build their own home, and just fish and hunt? They are a biological species and they have every right to live on their own and hunt on their own like every other animal in the world. No one has encaged us and put us in a zoo except but mentally. So we try to live in this brick and mortar matrix and survive in it. And even if we don't have the paper, the coins to put in this machine to live off of, we'll sit here and beg every other person for the coins to live in this machine, instead of just going out into the woods and going out into the world and finding your own lane, creating your own. You don't have to have everything. We're spoiled. Hulk Smash says, do you think the vaccine is made to find the people who are waking up? I think the Matrix knows people are waking up and trying to stop it. Well, there you go, Hulk Smash. Everything, family, nothing is by coincidence, just so you know that. Nothing is by coincidence. Yes, hit the like button, family. Ask me another question, family. We're going to get started on this topic. Agents. Have you felt like anybody was hating on you recently? Have you felt like people just hating on you, throwing shade your way, trying to destroy where you're going, saying negative things to you to bring you down? Have you noticed that? As soon as you decided to wake up, those people come right back around, stirring up trouble, trying to ruin your life. Have you had people hating on you, family? Have you had people trying to destroy you, trying to talk about you behind your back? Have you had this happen? You guys are used to this, right? You ever wonder, why does this happen? What am I doing wrong? Why do people decide they don't like me before they even get to meet me? Why? Well, we're going to talk about agents, family. On that silver moon. Yes, there are more Neos waking up all around us, and that's why all these agents are coming out of nowhere. So let me tell you guys something, okay? There are people watching you, and they cannot stand you. They are agents. The problem is, family, they don't always reveal themselves. They don't all walk around with these big shades on, very noticeable. You notice there are other people, and then instantly when they start showing themselves, now you see them as an agent, right? They always say little things to you that let you know they're an agent, but you overlook it because you want to keep these people in your life. But they're holding you back, and it's time that you let them go. And you don't even have to focus on letting them go. You just need to ignore them and just keep manifesting. They're going to expose themselves, family. Okay? Here we go. If you have had people hating on you, here's why. You are truly special, especially to the person that's hating on you. You have their attention. So much so, they are putting out hate towards you and shade towards you. You understand? So much so, they are putting out hate and shade towards you. Why are they doing this? Well, because they see you as somebody special. And you're only reminding them of how special they are not. See, they live inside of their minds, and if you don't believe you're special, you're not. The problem is, man, when we see people, when we see them as being great, we think they already know it. When most of the time, we are inside of our own heads questioning our own greatness. People on the outside are observing you, and because they come to a conclusion that you're worthy, that you are the chosen one, that's when they begin to turn into Judas on you, and they can't even help it. See, family, trees are beautiful, but even they throw shade. Shade, when a person is throwing shade on you, you know how you put on shades when you're driving down the road and the sun is blinding you? I mean, you don't hate the sun, do you? But it's blinding you, right? So too much of its light is making it into your cranium, and it's making it difficult for you to see your path. So you put on shades, correct? Because you can't help but see that sun. It's in the way of you. You can't even see you. So shades must go on, correct? Absolutely, projection. No one knows you. What they're saying about you is how they experience you, which is telling you who they are. You think you all of that. You never said that. That's their words. So when you're shining too bright for someone, they throw shade. They have to say something negative. See, saying something negative to you at that moment, for some reason, helps them feel better. And that's why they did it. Let's say you begin to start a business and you start promoting your business. As soon as you do, somebody comes on there and says, see, you just want money. And it'll scare you. It'll bother you. It'll make you want to take the post down. Because they're criticizing you for trying to be a better version of yourself, for starting a business. But I guarantee you that person never puts that on any of the established businesses commercials that they see come across their feed. Ain't that crazy? But to you, the person that they know, they're going to say, why? Why are you trying to make money off of people? Why are you trying to sell stuff to people? It's something wrong with you. You're trying to use people. You're trying to sell stuff to them. And you'll say inside of you, like, dang, I'm offending people. Like, and you told yourself, I'm going to promote my business every day. And now you don't promote it every day. You understand? You tell your friend your business idea, and they start telling you all the negatives that go along with it. But see, it's not their dream, it's your dream. And so you told them your dream, only for them to tell you it cannot happen. Right? And now you believe them. Oh man, it ain't the climate for that. Tell me about the time you told somebody who you really thought believed in you. Okay? I'm smoking too cool. Tell me about the time you told someone who truly who you thought believed in you about a dream of yours. Gee whiz. Beautiful question. How do we destroy the agents? You're creating them, family. Someone type in the time that you gave a person your dreams and they gave you back crap. They weren't there for you at all. 11-11, absolutely, family. Perfect balance. So listen, here we go. How do you destroy the agents? Know first that you are creating them. Wow, like, dang. Why I'm always getting the blame? So even when people don't like me, it's my fault? Yeah. You are the catalyst for them not liking you because you're great and you're freaking amazing. And you have doubts about yourself. So your reality is that which consumes your mind. So listen, family, when people outside of you tell you you can't do it, you put them there. These are thoughts that's already going through your mind. So don't ever be angry at them. You thought that too. Somewhere dormant inside of you, you doubt it too. It's likely why you went to them for validation. You see? Life is trying to show you you. These people are not important. What's more important is how you receive them and what you're putting out and what's in here. You understand? When people express doubt to you, they are your energy expressing itself back to you in other life forms outside of you, trying to give you a message. You can't do it. Trust me, you're not good enough. Well, in the back of your mind, somewhere you were thinking that. So they put that thought in front of your mind so you can confront that thought. So you put that thought in front of you. So the thought's in here in the back of your mind. You need to project that thought into someone in front of you so you can have someone to defeat. Thank you so much, BMA and Shell. It's like Baki. Baki stands there and he focuses all of his eyes and energy into one spot and he thinks about the person that he wants to fight. If you never watch Baki, okay? He looks at the person he wants to fight. I mean, he looks into seemingly nowhere, but he's looking into his mind, even though he seems to be focused outward. And he can see who he wants to fight. And Baki will stare at that spot until the person realizes in front of him. And so much so the other people outside of Baki can see the person standing there. And when the person hits Baki, Baki bruises. Yeah, Baki bleeds when the person attacks him because in his mind, Baki believes so strongly that this person's there that the attacks are real. And Baki is actually leveling up through truly fighting these people in his mind. And so his training is that, fighting against himself in his mind. And that's what we're doing. In the back of your mind, you said, how can I prove to myself that I truly do believe in myself? I hear that all these other versions of me inside of my head's doubting me. I hear all of that. Well, I need to deal with that doubt somewhere. So I'm going to put that into my best friend, because that's a sacrifice that I got to be willing to make. So I'm going to separate myself from people who doubt me. And doing that separates yourself from the doubts because you begin to ignore doubters. If you begin to ignore doubters, you have likely begun to ignore the doubt in your mind. See, you have taken a subconscious approach to knowing what I focus on expands. So you don't even respond to negative comments anymore because you know that when you look at that comment, it goes into your mind. And now you meditating on that comment and what that person thinks of your life all the way across the world. They probably sitting in their basement, health so bad, but they're commenting on your life and you're sitting there worried about what they think of you. But they are only representing a version of you that is doubtful of yourself. So don't ever be angry at them. Somebody say, I don't believe in you. Say, I received that too. You don't believe in me. See, likely that's them projecting from a place that they don't believe in themselves. You see, everyone is a reflection of you. So the people that see you and they see you in a good place, this is their opportunity to get to that place too, if they can enjoy you being in that place. If they can enjoy seeing you, which is a reflection of themselves, having success, they will have success also. But many times we fail because we can't prepare ourselves for seeing our friend be successful. That comes in a moment. Thank you so much, Shekinah Sanders. And thank you. Things happen in a moment's notice, so we don't have time to prepare. Like I told you, life is a pop quiz. So what will happen is you'll be scrolling your page and you'll see someone that you know becoming successful. They're much further along than what they were, and you feel like they're further along than you. So when you see them, you actually didn't like it. And you were an agent in that moment. Like if you could only see yourself, you got shades on. That's why agents always have shades. You blinding them. Your light's too bright. Notice they never have on shades so they turn into an agent. And all of a sudden they got these big sun blockers on, right? So when you look at the person that you actually do love them, you grew up with them, but you look at them and you see them happy and bragging about their success, in your mind, that's where the truth is.